Hey y'all, I'm Michelle Hill with Southern Inspirations. Welcome to Good Eatin. Y'all, I have partnered with food blogger Daniel Champagne of D-Champ Eats to bring you regular episodes of inspiration in the kitchen. Daniel and I have teamed up to share with you some of our favorite recipes from childhood and beyond. Come on in and watch today's episode of Good Eatin' Inspiration in the Kitchen.
Hey everyone, Daniel Champagne here, and I am in the kitchen making one of the easiest treats that I've ever made before, one that I make almost every year, one that is easy to bring to a party, a gathering, to give as a gift, to bag up for teacher gifts or work gifts or anything like that. It's super easy, and I don't really have a name for it except for chocolate bark, but it's kind of cookie, peanut butter, pretzel, chocolate bark, just lots of delicious stuff kind of thrown together to make something super delicious. So like I said, super easy. And I'm going to show you basically what's in the ingredients. So right here in front of me, I have two double boilers, and in one I have white chocolate morsels that I melted down, and in the other one I have dark chocolate morsels melted down. So it's a bag of each. Okay, you just grab the bag, toss it in, put it on a double boiler so that you don't burn your chocolate. But if you need to make it happen faster, or you don't have the stuff for a double boil, you can put the morsels in a microwave safe container and put it in for 30 seconds, then stir, 30 seconds, then stir. Keep doing that so that you don't burn your chocolate, but you just get it done pretty easily. So that's a little tip for you on that. But like I said, I've got some dark chocolate right here, and I've got my white chocolate, and they're both melted. And I kind of just want to lick the spatula because dark chocolate is my favorite. But yeah, so to these is where we add some of our stuff. And so for me, I use peanut butter, Oreo cookies, and pretzels. But the beautiful thing about this bark, this dessert, this treat, is that it's basically a blank canvas. I saw a recipe similar to this when I was in college and decided to just make my own variation. And so I just got in the kitchen and started making it. And I made it and people loved it. And so I made it all the time, because when you say yes to going to a Christmas party, or when you say yes to going to a gathering, or you need to figure out a gift really quickly, it's nice to have something homemade, but you don't always have time to be baking cookies or making cakes or making all kinds of crafty things. And so we've given this as gifts to my daughter's teachers, and so I brought it to parties, and I bagged it up for friends in the office. So it's super easy, super fast, and it'll just make your life a lot easier. So like I said, it's a blank canvas, so you can do whatever you want. If you want to do milk chocolate and dark chocolate, if you want to do two kinds of dark chocolate and put different things inside, that's great too. You can do a mint version for Christmas. You can add nuts or dried fruits or all that kind of stuff. I was talking to my mom earlier, and she was talking about how you can add cranberries to the white chocolate and all that kind of stuff. And so you can add whatever you want to this, but I'll show you what I do for mine. So into the dark chocolate, we're gonna add more chocolate. I have crushed up Oreos, and so you don't want them like super fine. You want some chunks, some bigger pieces, because you just want that to kind of show in your bark. And so I'm gonna dump a cup of crushed Oreos in there, and just kind of mix it all in, and it kind of makes your dark chocolate pretty thick, but that's okay. And so you've got that mixed up in there, and I'll show you both of these in just a moment. So that's in there, and it's gonna just kind of chill right there. The heat is off on the double boilers, by the way. So once you're melted, you can turn off your heat because you don't want them to keep cooking. And then to the white chocolate, I add peanut butter, because white chocolate is super sweet. And so I know we've got the dark chocolate, but you still need something in there. So like if you did cranberries or some kind of like roasted nut or something, you want to balance out the sweetness of the white chocolate. You don't want to just put white chocolate unless that's your jam. If your jam is white chocolate all day, every day, then go for it. So to this white chocolate, I am adding 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Now, I did 2 tablespoons. You just do however much you want. If you want it extra peanut buttery, go for it. If you don't want it too peanut buttery, go for it. If you know there's a peanut allergy at the party or whoever's getting the gift, then obviously you're gonna omit your peanut butter. So I've got that going in, and it turns the white chocolate into like a light peanut butter color. And that is how I know that it's the perfect amount for me. So that is incorporated in there. And the beautiful thing is that you just add the peanut butter to the hot white chocolate and it melts in there and it combines. So I'll show you these real quick. So we've got delicious dark chocolate with Oreos mixed in. And then we've got our white chocolate that has peanut butter inside. Don't want to tip that out, but you can see there's a slight peanut butter hue to that. And so these are right here. And then it's time to assemble. So I've got a pan here lined with parchment paper because you don't want anything to stick to anything. You want this to detach really easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and move these up a little bit. Put this back here. I will move this out of the way so you can kind of see the magic happen here. So put that right there. I've got a spoon. I only grab 1 spoon, so I'm gonna grab another spoon because I need 1 for each. Because you don't want to mix them just yet. So I always start with my dark chocolate. And I take that and I put globs of it on my parchment paper. So just plop some globs of it down all throughout the parchment paper, and you'll see why in a little bit. Glob here, glob there. Spread throughout. So, while I'm doing this, I want you to tell me in the comments what your favorite thing is to bring to a Christmas gathering, like a potluck or a cookie exchange. Tell me what your favorite Christmas cookie to bake is, and or treat to make, or it could be something savory that you always make. And I know that after today, it's gonna be this, but right now, just tell me what your favorite kind of treat is while I'm doing this. And so, I've got this. I'm gonna scrape the rest out because we can't waste any chocolate. It's too good. So, as you can see, I've got just globs all over, okay? And there's a method to my madness because I'm gonna take this, and white chocolate is much thinner because there's no Oreos in it. And so this, let me position my parchment paper. You kind of run it around and kind of fill in. All over. You fill in between the dark chocolate. So I have made this for multiple parties, and the problem with this stuff is that it's really addicting, and so I'm gonna make this and I'm gonna start distributing it to my friends because I don't need this in my house. So you've got your white chocolate kind of pooled in between all your stuff, okay? So here's where the fun part really happens. you get to start swirling stuff together because you want it to mix, because you want those flavors to meld. But what happens is that the bottom of your bark has those very solid pockets of the different flavors, but the top gets really swirled and really pretty. Yeah, it looks like art. Art that you can eat. You're welcome. That was really cheesy. Sorry about that. So, I've got this all swirled and marbled. And so you've got so many different colors in there. I'll show you in just a moment. So the last thing I put on top is pretzels. So I've crushed some pretzel sticks. You can use swirls. I love butter square pretzels. Those are delicious, but I just love the salty note that you get. If you didn't have pretzels, you could just do some sea salt on top and that would give you that salty bite as well. And so I just have these and I broke them up into sticks, smaller sticks, because I didn't want to mash them up too much because you still want the salt to stay on the pretzel. You don't want to lose all your salt. And so basically all you do is you just start dropping pretzels. And the pretzels are just gonna stick to your melted chocolate and it's gonna look beautiful. And you just put however many or how few you want. Super easy, okay? All right. Here is our finished product, about to go in the fridge. So here's the other thing about this, is you could literally make this an hour before the party you're going to, and if you throw it in the freezer, it'll harden up super fast, you cut it up, and you bring it to the party, okay? If you are waiting till the next day to give it as a gift or something, you put it in the fridge overnight, you just leave it however long you need to. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop this in the fridge, let it solidify, and then I'm gonna be back in a few, and I'm gonna cut it up and show you and do a little taste test, all right? I'll see you back here after this has fully set. Well, we have taken the bark out of the freezer and it did not even take an hour, so even less time. So you could be super last minute with making this dessert. So anyway, I'm gonna show you a quick close-up before we head into this. You can see the swirls and the pretzels and all the deliciousness, and we're just about to cut into this. So basically you can do this however you want. You can take a hammer or like a meat mallet and bash it up if you put some plastic wrap over it. I've done that before. You can break it up with your hands. That means your hands are gonna get full of melted chocolate. So I'm gonna use a knife. And when I use a knife, I usually like to kind of like cut it up into triangles. And so I'm just gonna start cutting into it. And it's very thick and it starts to break. So like this already broke in half, which is perfect because it's helping me out. And you might lose a few pretzels that are on the top, but that's okay. You just throw it in the bag that you give to your friends, or you put it on the platter, and you know, it just goes with it. All of this stuff goes together. So I'm gonna do a couple more cuts, and I'm gonna try this because I gotta try it. I mean, of course, right? So you can make the pieces as big or little as you want. And so you got like these really big pieces that you can put, so you can like individually wrap them. You can break them into smaller pieces, things like that. But what you get is, what's really cool is that you get the swirls on top, okay? But then on the back side, you've got the solid of the white chocolate with the peanut butter or the dark chocolate. And then you've got like layering and marbling in there. And so it's just a really cool effect for you to kind of have. So it makes it less, you know, plain and simple. It's a little bit more unique. And so we're gonna go ahead and bite into right here. There's some white chocolate and dark chocolate and pretzel, and I'm just gonna go for it right here. Oh yeah. So you've got peanut butter and white chocolate, so you've got a little bit of sweet, but you got the dark chocolate that brings it down and not as sweet, and you've got that hint of salt. It's like everything together. I love salty and sweet, so it's perfect. You could put like caramel chips on top. You could substitute the white chocolate and peanut butter for like peppermint morsels that they have out right now. Really, you can do whatever you want. Sprinkle Andes mints on top. Really, the possibilities are endless, but basically grab a bag of one kind of chocolate and a bag of another kind of chocolate, melt them and add whatever you want, swirl them together, pop them in the freezer, cut it up, and you've got a gift, you've got a treat, and you'll have to try not to eat the whole batch all to yourself. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you make it for a Christmas gathering. I hope you make it to give as gifts. I hope you make it soon, even if it's just for yourself, to treat yourself after a really stressful holiday season. And I hope to see you real soon. Leave a comment with some add-ins that you would pick, some of your favorite ingredients that you would pick. I look forward to seeing those, and I look forward to seeing you back here on Good Eatin', Inspiration in the Kitchen. Have a great day.